Hello and welcome back to HLS Crypto. My name is Dan. So today we're going to be looking at how you create generational wealth with crypto. Now, I'm going to address this early. Yes, I have had a haircut. No, I'm not going to try and sell you some dodgy meat out the back of a van or a fake Rolex from under my jacket. But it was a Turkish barber's, so I actually quite enjoyed it. They put like a really hot towel on my face on a day in England, which is unusual. We had a really hot day, so that was quite frustrating because I felt like my face was going to melt. So, but feel free to roast me in the comments because this is the internet. You can compliment me as well if you want. You do either one, but I imagine with this being the internet, it's more likely to be a roast. And feel free to do that in the comments. I will look forward to reading some of the replies. You've got some jokes in there, all you have, surely. So in this video, I want to cover how it's possible to create generational wealth in crypto. So first of all, what is generational wealth? So it's defined as this. Generational wealth refers to financial assets that are passed down through families to children, grandchildren, and beyond. Assets passed from one generation to the next might include cash, investments, properties, and more. Now, I think properties are a really good one because over a period of time, they're always going to kind of rise in value. You have crashes, obviously, you have crashes in the stock market, you have them in the property market, you have them in crypto. But I think property is one of them ones that is kind of safe in the long run. So it's something to definitely think about. Can this be done with crypto? I believe yes. I do believe it can be done with crypto. And as I've said a few times now, the average investor, I believe, falls into two categories. When we're talking about investors in general, I think it's like four categories and maybe more, but the average investor, I think, falls into two categories. The first is the meme investor chasing all the shit coins, hoping that one will be their golden ticket to 1000x. Now, by doing this, you kind of set yourself up for failure. What tends to happen is they'll go after all the meme coins, and each month they'll chase the next great thing that's already got a massive green candle. What tends to happen after that? Big red candle, and then essentially, they're losing money. You don't want to be one of them. It's, some of them will get rich, maybe not even 1% probably, but some of them will get rich. They will. It'll be a fluke essentially. So two, the DCA investor who religiously each week and month buys cryptos that they believe in. Now that's important as well. You've got to make sure you believe in what you're buying. And having done that research, feels comfortable in those coins and has a plan for their exit strategy, which we'll touch on a little bit later. Have the courage of your convictions, but equally don't be blinded. So, if you are going into a coin for the first time, then do your research, have a good look, take a bit of time. But once you've done that, have the courage of your convictions and don't be blinded by certain things that you might see or hear that are not aligned with what your end goal is or your plan. Stay nice and spread. So we've spoken about this before on the channel. Keep all of your investments spread. You don't want to be all in on one asset class the same way as you don't want to be all in on one particular coin. So as I've said before, have a gaming coin. So you've got Gala, GFAL. There's a few different ones. Naka. I really like Nakamoto games. Obviously, I'm heavily in Gala too. We'll talk about that a bit later as well. But yeah, have some utility coins, your quants, your XRPs. Have some AI coins, Render, AGIX. Real world asset coins, so labs, proppy, things like that. Have a good look, decide what you want to do, but try and spread it not only by asset class, but also by the amount of money you're putting in. Don't have like one coin, don't go all in on that. Because if that one coin did go to shit, then you're stuck, and then you don't make anything. That's not what we want to do on this channel or in life, is it? So you don't need a fortune to get started, but you do need consistency. Now this is key. So yeah, you don't have to come into the market and just throw $100,000, £100,000, whatever your currency is. You don't want to go and just. If you had the ability to do that, it'd be great, but most of us don't. So you don't need a fortune to get started. You generally don't. You can actually build this over a period of time. That time is obviously running out. As we know, the bull run's fast approaching, 2025. We haven't got long. The halvening for Bitcoin's April. But consistency is key. So if you do sit there and decide that this is the way you're going to do it and this is the way you're going to play it, then make sure you're consistent. Don't miss a month here or there. Don't miss a week here and there, depending on which one you're doing. If you're DJing weekly or monthly, just make sure that you are actually following up each month. Like, don't start something you can't finish because it makes it worse in the long run. and you could ultimately lose money, and you don't want to be doing that. If you haven't started yet, then you really must think about starting in September, October. So this month, we're in September now, and October, as it's my belief that these will be the bloodiest months in the space before the next bull run. So we're going to see crashes. We're going to see prices drop in September, and possibly even more so in October. But we'll gauge it as we go, and we'll see how things are unfolding. But I do think that these 2 months may be the last 2 months where you can get something at a really, really discounted price from what we've got now. And we're already at discounted prices based on the last bull run, how things performed. So it's important to understand that when these dips take place, don't think it's going to go lower, because that's when you get screwed as well. The same way as when it goes up and you think it's going to go higher, it's the same effect. Don't let yourself get dragged into it either way, you know? So coins I've spoken about on this channel that are in my portfolio and that I have faith in, a Quant, great low supply, massive use case. Trias, again, 10 million coins only. H-bar, generally think that's going to do well in the bull run. CSPR, which is the Casper with a C. Jasmy, made a video about that recently. VRA, Gala, Labs. In fact, there's a video about all of those on the channel, so you can go and check them out, see what you think, but always ultimately make up your own mind. The coin that I really can't wait to add is Casper with a K. So it's like friendly ghosts all over the place, but I really want to get into Casper. I'm waiting for an entry. I want my price to be around 0.02 cents, 0. Yeah, and then potentially 3 cents. 3 cents and below, I'm going in. I'm going in big. That's what I want to do. And then DCA after that, obviously, because I want to try and build the bag higher. There are other coins you might be interested in, and that's okay, but you must feel comfortable in your coin choice. So, there's loads of coins out there. There's 20-odd thousand different cryptocurrencies. So you can choose what you want to choose. I would recommend, though, if you're going to have 10 altcoins, then at least 5 of them be from the top 100. More for a safety net. Yeah, you're not going to get maybe as big a gains from the ones in the top 10, top 100, but it does give you that safety net to know that they've had previous bull run experience. That there's things that you can utilize that will at least save a lot of that, and then you can play a bit more with the other coins, but ultimately have a strong top end of your portfolio. Don't fall for FUD, but don't confuse FUD from actual news. So a good example of this is XRP. When they got sued by the SEC, all that kind of stuff, the court case, the lawsuit went on for ages. The thing about that is that was genuine news, and it did suppress XRP's price during the 2021 bull run. It also suppressed XLM's by proxy from that. So that's something that should be thought about, because FUD is when you see a lot of stuff, a lot of shit talking about certain coins. People will say the most ridiculous nonsense, but in order to try and bring the price down so they can then buy it often. But don't confuse actual news. So we had Gala, didn't we, yesterday or 2 days ago, when we realized that their lawsuit was going to kick in. It was a thing that was going to actually happen. It caused people to be a bit concerned about the Gala investment. Like for me, I've said I'm staying in, and I'm still staying with that, even though it's dropped a little bit more today. I still think that it'll be okay long run, but that's actual news. So if you do decide to go, right, that's not for me, I'm going to probably sell that and then look to put that in somewhere else, then that's absolutely fine, because you've took it from actual news as opposed to someone making stuff up, essentially. Make sure you have that exit strategy. We spoke about this before. I've said before that if you layer out, then you can do it in certain targets. If you look at the quant video, whatever, I go for like 700 and a bit dollars per quant, and then building up to that 1,000 mark, and then maybe 20% bags over that 1,000 mark, just to try and bring your profits up, essentially. But make sure you're taking some profits, because it's really important, because without them, then what's the point? Because if you go to zero, or if you hold down, quant's not going to go to zero, but if you hold on the way down again, then you've wasted a lot of your time, and there's no need for that. Control those emotions. I've said this before. It's good to be able to control your emotions in life, let alone in the cryptocurrency market. But as I've said before, don't beat yourself up when things are low, because that's the time to go and to go and buy more often than not. But then when they're really high, don't think it's going to be up only. It's not going to be up only forever. You know, you have to consider taking your profits when things have gone really high. You know, keeping yourself accountable is huge. So once you've achieved this, you've achieved all of these things, then what's next? Because this is where your generational wealth will kick in. This is how you would do it. So do you want to then withdraw all your profits from the bull run, which is into cash? Obviously, I would recommend that. Then do you want to get a couple of properties? Do you want to start your own business? Do you want to invest in things that are assets, gold, silver, whatever it is that you choose to do? That will be how you create generational wealth ultimately, because you're getting assets that are going to last generations. So when you hand down, 2, 3, 4 houses to your children, that's generational wealth. And even if you don't achieve it in this particular bull run, you should be able to get enough out to leave your 9 to 5, which will mean that you can then go and focus on something you're interested in. What business can you set up? It can be e-commerce. It can be a physical business. It can be whatever it is you want to do, but that's income coming in from money that you acquired for basically peanuts. That'll change your life, and it'll change the life of your children, your family, and people you care about the most. And that's what generational wealth is. And I think it's really important that people need to look into that and think about what the future holds, not just for themselves, but for the people who are closest to them. That's going to be key, because, if you're the one in your family that changes everyone's life, you'll be forgotten about still in by the time your great grandchildren turn around, because, you'll just be a distant memory. But what you did will echo in eternity. What we do in life echoes in eternity, and it's something that should always be thought about. And I wish you all the very best of luck. And I want you to all, tell me your success stories in 2025 in the comments. I want to, when we're releasing videos in 2025, I want to see how well you've all done, because the whole point of this channel is to literally help and be part of something with you guys, and it's important to me. It's going to be good. So that being said, I've had a 12-hour shift. I'm very tired, but I appreciate you being here and watching this video. The subscribers are brilliant. We're going up really fast. Subscribe if you can. Like the video. Comment below all your thoughts. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy.